Matt Hogan, CIO of Bitwise, says that if Bitcoin does become important on a world scale, it will be worth between $10 and $50 trillion, which is 5 to 25 times what it is worth now. This week in his weekly letter, he also says that the US Bitcoin strategic reserve is a big step forward and that the short-term weakness is a gift. Very, very cool things. This is something we're going to talk about a little more, and we'll talk about how it might really help XRP. However, welcome back to the CryptoZX channel to those who own XRP. Thanks for listening every day, guys. For those of you who haven't already, what are you waiting for? Click the red subscribe button to join the CryptoZX forces. But anyway, if you look at the big picture, Tuesday was a great day with a lot of green. But as I said in my market analysis update, I'm not getting too excited just yet because I'm thinking realistically that there are other things we need to think about before we get too excited. XRP went up 2.7%, so it was a big day with some big news that we'll talk about. The price of XRP is pretty much the same as it was yesterday. I'll show you the numbers again at the end of the change. Bitcoin's market value, on the other hand, is up 1.2% to $126 billion and about $5. 5 billion worth of trades happen every 24 hours. But before we go any further, as always, I want to make it clear that nothing on this channel is meant to be taken as financial advice. As with any investment, you should always do your own study before putting money into crypto. That's the day's news. Franklin Templeton, $1.40 trillion asset manager, filed for an S1 XRP ETF, which was the big news of the day. Don't forget what I said, these big wealth managers are missing. They're on their way. They understand what's going on. They're coming, and this is a great example of what they mean. Franklin Templeton, which is in charge of $1.40 trillion in assets, has put in for an XRP ETF. The well-known people are coming. The flip the switch event is really happening. I know that people look at prices with a short-term view, wondering what will happen to the price tomorrow, next week, or in 6 months. I mean, this right here, how would this affect XRP? So far today, XRP is named as the fourth most valuable cryptocurrency. XRP has proven its worth over the past 10 years or so. It's still here. Again, shout out to the originals. We've seen hundreds of coins get into the top 100 and then fail. XRP is still around, though, and with a project that has been through so much, most of them stall when they feel a little pressure. I won't name names, but if you've been in this space for a while, you know that XRP has stuck to what they said they would do from the start, focus on the mission and come up with new ideas, no matter how much pressure they were under. They're still here. And now you can see that the crypto markets are changing in a very different way. And I think that projects like XRP will be at the front of the pack. And if Bitcoin's value goes to that crazy level, as Matt Hogan said, it could inspire other countries to do the same thing. Without a doubt, this will make a huge increase in the market for Bitcoin. It's already there. As it stands, the number of people who want Bitcoins is higher than the number that are being made. That really tells you something, even in your mind. And after all of these things are getting harder and harder to do with Bitcoin, and the demand we're seeing right now makes it even harder. A lot of people might think these price predictions are crazy. But think about a few years ago. No one really thought that these assets and extra people would be worth these amounts. In other words, I always want you to see it this way. You know that this is where your risk management skills come in handy. In the end, the only important thing we need to think about is time, since that's what will tell us. And there is always a chance of harm. For this reason, you need to do your homework and be careful. That being said, let's take things slowly. But look at this. The CPI is the center of attention. Tomorrow is the second CPI inflation report of 2025. The main goal of prediction markets is for overall inflation to drop from 3% at the start of January to 2.9% in February. The core CPI rate of inflation is likely to drop from 3.3 to 3.2. If inflation rates go down tomorrow, it will be the first time since July that both of them have gone down at the same time. In the summer of 2024, the markets were very optimistic about inflation. Of course, if you do see, I'll keep up with this again, it will be fun. You could see the market for a lot of money. You might already be seeing this in the market. The question of whether or not rates will go down because of this one event will be talked about by many. Still, I don't think we should get too excited because it's not a big deal that it's supposed to fall, although it does tend to fall. Based on what we've heard from Jerome Powell at the last few meetings, I don't think he's going to come in and lower the rates. We'll see what happens at the FOMC meeting, but yeah, let's see what happens. This is clear for everyone to see, as this statement shows. You may know that Brad Garlinghouse used this side-eye emoji. Really, you know how important this is, and it's not said enough. This is new, and we miss bands like BlackRock and Believe It or Not. That being said, I believe they already know what's going on. In the end, all of these companies are in competition with each other. All of them are going to file then. Based on the big news we're hearing, I think it's only a matter of time before BlackRock files for an ETF as well. Things are looking very exciting, and I'm sure they'd want a piece of the action. Okay, let's look at this. RW means that the tokenization of real-world assets is speeding up, and XRP is at the center of this trend. You should know that XYZ now gives you real-time information about the success of the XRP network. Tokenized treasuries, commodities, and stable coins like RLUSD. Learn about the newest tokenization trends and look into the XRPL's growth for institutions. As always, very interesting. Now, let's check out what's going on with the price. Now there is more control than there has been since the beginning of February. This was also talked about in some of my other posts. If we talk about strength again, there's no question that dominance is strong. You can see this for yourself. It proves your power. So if you own an altcoin, now is not the time to get too excited. Let's give Bitcoin a boost in real time. Your BTC is worth $81,739 right now. We did make it all the way up to 38.2, but we're turned down. So we're now just sitting back at 81.7. The price of Bitcoin is still nowhere near where I'd like it to be. And I still think it could fall to around 76K or even test the 70.35 level again before it starts to rise again. This is because the market has fallen quite a bit. So a little bounce is to be expected. But once more, you might want to keep an eye on CPI numbers, which could have a good effect on the market. You can see this for yourself if you look at the price of XRP right now. Let's take a look at it over the course of an hour. So you can check this out for yourself. The price of XRP is still mostly stuck in the 38.2 fib zone. We got up to the 225 earlier than planned. Naturally, we did hear about the ETF filing, but it's clear that we were stopped out. There was a lot of resistance